All right, guys. Thank you for joining me again this Saturday. I don't know if you are part of the last live webinar we held, where we talked about the motivation letter templates for the past application periods. If you missed that webinar, the video is still available in our Facebook group, so you can just go through the timeline and check the check the timeline and get the video and watch it. You will learn a lot. So today we are going to be talking about the CV template. Which is actually one of the documents required for applications for the scholarship for the SI, Swedish Institute Study Scholar, the Swedish Institute Scholarship. So CV is a very important document. And then over the years, there have been templates that the scholarship has advised candidates to use when submitting their CVs for the scholarship. So and that's what we're going to be focusing on in this video, in this live webinar. We're going to be talking about how these templates have evolved since 2016 till now. Any changes? Is there any changes? What should you expect in the next CV template? So this is what this webinar will address. All right. Well, I do this every webinar. I introduce myself. Sorry, those of you that already know who I am, but we have to consider the fact that there are some people who are joining us for the first time who may not know who is teaching or who is talking about, who is hosting this webinar. So, as you know, my name is Mobolaji Folomisho, and I was admitted for Masters in Industrial Engineering and Management at Linköping University in 2017, and I graduated in June. And I came as a recipient of the Swedish Institute Study Scholarship. And while I was studying for Masters, the scholarship paid for everything: monthly allowances, to full tuition fees, health insurance is covered. All you have to do is just come to Sweden and come and study, and that's why it's a very, very prestigious scholarship, in one of the most innovative countries in the world. Sweden is, I think, according to the latest ranking, Sweden is the second most innovative country in the whole world. There's a lot of innovation coming out of Sweden. There's a lot of things that we use today that came out of Sweden. Talk about Skype, came out of Sweden. Talk about Spotify, came out of Sweden. Talk about, the first seat belt. A Swedish company, actually invented the seat belt that you would find in every car. That's standard in every car now, in every vehicle now. Came out of Sweden, and there are lots and lots and different technologies and innovations coming out of Sweden. So if you get this scholarship and come to Sweden, apart from the education, you're going to have access to the networks, great networks of companies, international companies, professionals, and then you also have free movement within the Schengen region. If you have the Swedish visa, or what is called the Swedish residence permit for studies, you can travel to more than 20 countries in Europe without applying for visa, and then you expand your networks that way. You can go to France, the Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, what other country, Switzerland, all those interesting European companies, European countries, and then you get to expand your networks that way. That's one of the advantages of coming to Sweden and getting this scholarship. It's very, 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 very prestigious, and that's why I've been committing myself to teach others, to show others that this is how I got the scholarship, and this is how you can get the scholarship also. So thank you for keeping faith, and joining me once again this Saturday. So let's go right into why we are here. All right. So why the CV? Why does the scholarship want to see your CV? Why do they want to CV? As you know, generally when you're applying for jobs, you need to present your CVs. And what do CVs do? What job does the CV do for you? The CV is like a marketing document for you. a marketing where a document where you are able to sell yourself to whoever requested for the CV. So the motivation letter, there's a limit to how much you can say. There's a limit to how much information about your past work and leadership experiences that you can provide, about your skills, future ambitions, and achievements. There's a limit to how much of that you can provide because of space in the motivation letter. But the CV, you can say a lot more in your CV. I mean, can give a lot more information about why SI, the Swedish Institute, should give you this scholarship. So the reason why they want you to see this to document for them to see, for you to document all your work and leadership experiences, for you to document all your volunteering experiences, your network engagement, and this is very, very, particularly very important. Volunteering experiences and network engagement. It's very important for the scholarship application. I mean, the scholarship doesn't only want people who have work experience from their jobs. They also want people who have been active in volunteering outside of their jobs. Working for NGOs or social initiatives, networks, professional associations. People who have experience working with people outside of their the confines of their professional work environment. That's one interesting thing that the scholarship looks for, because that's how they know who is going to be. Because the goal of the scholarship is they want people to come to Sweden, get a scholarship, go through the Swedish education system, then go back to your country and develop your country. That's the goal of the scholarship. So the um, that's the goal of the scholarship. So the so by documenting your volunteering and network engagements and leadership experiences, by them looking at it and assessing and seeing it, that's just the way they can see how um, you can be someone that can contribute to your society in the future. I mean, they want look at it this way. They want people who can contribute to their society in the future. That's the goal. That's the goal of the scholarship. And how do they know someone who is going to be contributing to the society, someone who doesn't have to be paid to do something for his or her local community or region or country, someone who doesn't have to be paid, who has a passion, someone who has the passion to do something in the society, in the community. you know how do they assess that? How do they know people like that? It's by examining their past experiences, what they've done in the past. Because once they see a pattern from your past, that you have a pattern of doing something for the society, doing something without being paid, without you don't have to pay to do it. They see the pattern of your passion and everything. Then that's by seeing that, by assessing that, then they can judge and say, okay, yes, this person really, we can say that this person can do something in the future. Because you can't just come and submit application to the scholarship and then you don't have any experiences in the past, any volunteering experience, any leadership experiences. You don't have any of that. I'm sorry, you're not going to get a scholarship. That's the fact. That's the fact. Because you have to understand, as I always say, you have to understand what is the goal, what is the scholarship looking for, what are they looking for, and then if you want to know what they're looking for, just go to the scholarship website. Um, Let me show you the website. I do this regularly. Uh, okay, so this scholarship that we are talking about, Swedish Institute scholarships for global professionals. All right. Um, yeah, and then you scroll down. and then you scroll down and you see this section that says who we are looking for, and this is where you will be able to assess whether you deserve, like you can submit an application for the scholarship in the first place. Because if after going through this section and then you see that I don't measure up, I don't have what they want, I'm not the kind of person they are looking for, I don't have all these experiences, I don't have all they're talking about here, I would advise you not to apply. But if you have anything, at least anything they are talking about here, you can point at it in your past experiences, in your work experiences, leadership. If you can point at anything they've talked about here in your profile, then go for it. Go for the scholarship, because this is how they judge who they are going to give scholarship to. And then so that's why I always mention volunteering experiences, network engagements. Those are very, very, very important factors that determine who should win the scholarship. And then the CV also is where you can tell them about your education, the trainings you've been through, your skills, your past achievements, basically any reason why you think you deserve this scholarship. So that's what the CV is meant for, actually. So how has the SI CV template evolved since 2016? So I'm going to show you how the templates have been, from 2016, and this is where now. Okay, this is the template. Now, usually for the CV, the scholarship usually asked, 2016, 2017, 2018, they asked for, a CV template called the Europass. Europass, you can see it here, Europass template. The Europass is a common, when you search for it, Europass CV, when you search for it on Google, it's a general CV template used in Europe generally, especially when you're applying for jobs in Europe. It's a template, a standard template that you can use generally for jobs, not only a scholarship, for jobs in Sweden and in Europe. So that's the template. This template, that's the template that the scholarship has always asked for in the past, 2016, 2017, 2018. But in 2019, this year, they provided their own designed templates. They designed their own templates for the CV and gave it out to candidates to fill. As you can see here, this is the template that it was used for the 2019, that's in February of this year, for the scholarship application. So you can see they have their name on it, SI, Swedish Institute Scholarship Programs. So you can see this is, and then there are instructions at the head. And then this is the template that was used for the last application. But in 2016, 2017, 2018 application periods, they used the same templates called Europass CV templates. And so it was between 2016, 2017, 2018 templates, they were just the same templates, CV templates. So there was no difference at all. They just asked candidates, use the CV template for the scholarship. So, but in the last one, they designed their own template and gave it out to candidates to fill. But what you will notice is when you go down into this template, you will see that it's fundamentally not really different from the Europass CV template. Now let's look at it together. Look at this Europass CV template that was used for 2016, 2017, 2018, and then the SI design template for this year. Look at it. Personal information, start with personal information. Look at the format. Look at the Europass, first name, everything. Then this section was removed for the SI. They removed this section. Go straight to the work experience part, and then they added some. What they did was they took the format of the Europass and then they customized it for the SI scholarship application. The Europass format was, can be generally applied. You can use it for jobs. You can see it for jobs, for studies, for anything. But SI in the last application in February of this year, they customized the Europass template for the SI scholarship. And and that's what I judge that I think will most likely be used for the next application. Will the same this similar template, but I will advise you can just use this CV template, that's the last one, to to make a draft of how your CV will look for the scholarship. But you can't use this exact same copy for the next application. Why? Because you can see from the heading, it says this is a scholarship in the academic year 2019-2020. So it was for the last application period. The next application period is going to be 2020-2021. So you can't use this particular copy. Now listen very carefully. You can't use this particular copy of the CV template for the next application, because this copy I'm showing you now was for the last application in February of this year. So I need to make that point very clear. So as you can see the CV template, you can see how they customized it. They said replace with occupation, position held. Then talk about replace with your main tasks and responsibilities. Then they said if you were in a leadership position, please describe it briefly and indicate how many employees were under your supervision if applicable. You can see how detailed the kind of information they're asking for. They ask for if you're in this job, if you had a leadership position in this job, how many people were under your supervision. Now, I want you to know that in this webinar, this webinar is not for, showing you how to fill the CV template. What I'm doing in this webinar is to show you how the templates have evolved since 2016 and what you should likely expect in the next application. So that's just what this webinar is for. If you want to learn how to fill the CV template for the next application, you have to join my coaching program. You have to join my coaching program for that. So this, as you can see, this you can see the kind of information they're asking for. They're also asking for SDG, the SDG most closely related to the work you did at this position. Brief description of the organization, industrial sector of the organization, Then they moved on to another section of education and training. In terms of your bachelor's, any training, any training that you have that is relevant to the scholarship application. Then the next section is about network and civil society engagement. You can see that even they dedicated a section of the CV to this very important element, a very important component, network and civil society engagement. They dedicated a whole section of the CV to this. So it's very important. It's very, very important. Then they moved on to the previous scholarships, awards. If you had any scholarships or award in the past, you were the best employee, the employee of the year, any kind of achievement that you had, awards, this is where you're supposed to put them. So this was how the template for the last application was. Fundamentally, if you study this, I've already attached a link to all these templates to this video, to this post. So after the webinar, you can just go through the past templates. So the fact is, if you go through this template, the CV template for the last application, you see that fundamentally it uses the same format fundamentally as the Europass. What they did, they just customized it for the scholarship, with relevant sections, relevant important information they wanted to provide in the CV. So this is how it has evolved from the past. So there's really not been much changes essentially. All right. So what should you expect in the next motivation letter? I'm sorry. It should be what should you expect in the next CV? What should you expect in the next CV template? Yeah, so that's what this is about. So in my personally, I don't expect much differences in the next CV template apart from the instructions. So what I mean is, the last template they provided some instructions which are very very important, and I'll mention it again. I guess I've mentioned it before. Instructions are very important. Instructions in the document that the scholarship provides, they are very very important. You need to adhere strictly. This strictly is in bold. Is as in I'm mentioning it in bold letters. You need to adhere strictly to the instructions you provide. So that's why I said you can't use this same copy of the template for the next one. They may provide another um, copy. They will provide another copy, that's definite. So you can't use the same copy for the next application. So you need to watch out for the instructions, because that could change. You need to watch out for the instructions in the documents. That's very important. You need to give them what they want exactly, how they want it. So that's one of the secrets, one of the one of those things that can help you win the scholarship. Instructions, adhering strictly to instructions. All right. So in my personal opinion, as I said, there's really not. I don't expect much changes from what they ask for here. The content and everything. In my personal opinion, and I'm saying this because on I'm not a member of the Swedish Institute. I'm not a member of the organization. I'm just a recipient. I was just a recipient of their scholarship. So I don't know what they are planning. I don't know what they plan for the next their plan for the next application period. So that's why I said, in my own personal opinion, as someone who has studied the templates in the past, I don't think there's really going to be much changes, from the content from the last application period, really, for the CV specifically. All right. So, if you, as I said before, this webinar is just about to show you how the CV template has changed over the years, any changes and everything. And so, if you want to know how to fill the CV template that will be released for the next application, you need to join my coaching classes. I have coaching classes throughout the next application period, starting from the 1st of September to February of next year. In-depth teaching, one-on-one access to me. Many of you have come across the knowledge that I've shared, but this coaching program, you're not only gonna be having the knowledge that I share, you're still gonna having access, one-on-one access with me throughout the next application period. So that's what the coaching period is for. But for throughout August, I'm entertaining anyone that wants to talk to me by phone, through Facebook video. If you want to talk to me, you want to know about your eligibility for the scholarship, how you want to know about any questions you have, you can just go to this link, bit.ly/let's talk on phone. Schedule a time for us to talk, and I'll call you, we'll talk, and any question you want to ask, really. Yeah. So that's the link, bit.ly/let's talk on phone. All right. So the next Saturday we're going to be talking about the proof of work and leadership experience forms, which are another set of documents required for application for the scholarship. So don't miss it. All right. So that concludes this webinar. It's quite short, So if you have any questions, I will entertain any questions that you might have now. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can ask any questions you have, and I'll answer them. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask now, and I'll answer them. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Can ask now. My question, okay, I have a question already. My question is the sections that have the words replaced with, how best can one write on them? I'll ask, have you downloaded the template and tried to work with it? Because you can easily edit the templates. I mean, okay, let me show you. Well, this video is not really about showing you how to fill the templates, but let me just show you how you can do that. Right, the document is opening, so I just want to show you quickly, as someone asked, how you can edit those parts. Okay, so as you can see, it's very editable. All right, so replace with first name and surname. I mean, it's very easy. It's a Word document, so you just download it and edit, really. So that's how easy it is to replace. Replace with country, city code. Uh, that's how to edit, really. It's a Word document, and if you want to, know more details about how to fill these documents, how to edit and everything, just join my coaching program, really. That's where I'll go deeper into how to fill these documents, what SDGs and industries and brief description of organization, all those parts, how to fill in those parts, and so that it meets the requirement. That's what I'll be dealing dealing with in the coaching program. All right. So, any other questions? All right, I'm still waiting for your questions. In the next 5 minutes, if I don't have any questions, I have to, um, you know, close the webinar. Then we'll see next Saturday. All right, it seems we don't have any more questions. Okay, okay, there's a question already. I wanted to ask that if you work in the church as part of the youth executive, is it part of volunteer work? Yes, it's part of volunteer work. Um, if you work in a church, in a youth, in a youth. I had experience from a religious um, in school when I was in the university, and that was the experience that that was the experience that I talked about my applications, about my experience working in this youth. It was a university for university students, a religious organization. So the fact is, depends on what you talk about, really. Um, well, I don't expect you to go to your CV templates or your SIS application and start talking about how you led your youth in the community to pray or to preach or to evangelize or to all those religious activities. I don't think you should tell SI about that, because SI really I don't think it's because it's what SI is interested is what you are not really your religious activities. What they're interested in, what you'll be able to do for communities. Maybe you've been able to organize trainings for youth in your church or youth in your community as part of a member of the youth as a youth executive. It's okay, you can talk about it, but I would advise you not to talk about how you led um, prayer conferences or you led, you know, just mention secular or advice, mention secular activities that you did that you were involved in that position. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, there's another question. To those who came to attend the webinar a bit late, will you provide a video of today's session as you did for the first session? Yeah. The video will be available in the group, in the group timeline. You can check it anytime you want. So there's no problem. You can have access to it anytime in the group. All right. So I think that will be the end of today's webinar. And if you have any questions, you can just ask in the group, uh, and I'll reply and make a comment and reply and everything. So thank you for joining me. And next Saturday we're going to be talking about the proof of work and leadership experience forms. So don't miss it. See you guys next weekend. Bye.